Hello, you lovely, lovely people. Welcome. Do you know something, people? No matter what choice or what path we take in our lives, we all end up in the same place, don't we? Yeah, we all end up in the ground or on the ground, whichever the case may be. Which gets me thinking, the result is the same, isn't it? The result is the same. So, why don't we, or me, I took opportunities to come here. So why don't, many of us take those chances and opportunities, to do the things that you really want. You really want. People, success is waking up in the morning and doing what you want to do. It's not about being successful in your job or spending all the time that God's given you every waking hour to work and to earn as much money as you can and to be unhappy. Because, as I said, at the end of the day, where's it going to take you? Where's it going to take you to? The best, this saying is a true saying. The best things in life are free, so stop accumulating things. Stop gathering materialistic things that you don't need and you probably don't want them. Do the things that make you happy. Walk the dog, do a bit of exercise, listen to music, help others. And I tell you something, people, trust me, the sooner you do that, the sooner you will feel happier in yourself. Honestly, people, really. It's took me all this time to realise that the simple things in my life are the most enjoyable, not the complicated things in my life. You will be happier when you start doing things for yourself. I don't mean washing yourself, I mean doing things that make you happy in your life. And also, if someone's telling you, which they do, I've had it all my life, if someone's telling you, no, it generally means that they are expressing their own fears. That's why they're telling you, no, don't do that. It's not a good idea. That's their fears. It's not your fears. And do you know something I remember as an early age, and I'm sure you guys do as well, when our parents said, don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that. Well, why are they telling you them things? The reason is because their parents told them that. And they just pass it on. And it's not necessarily the right advice to be giving you or to be giving us. The advice that we should be taking is the advice that's coming from us. The advice that we feel is in ourselves to make our own choices. Whether it be right, whether it be wrong, it's our own choices. And when we make our own choices, we can't blame anybody else for that choice because we've made it ourselves. And that's very important that we do that. It's very important indeed. I think we spend too much time worrying about what other people think, what we should do and what we shouldn't do. If I listened to people, I wouldn't be here now. I simply wouldn't be. I'd have still been in England, working my butt off to pay all the bills at the end of every month, doing what I was doing, not improving my life quality, not improving the things that I should be improving. The candle that we burn in right now, when we get older, it gets less and less. It's less and less and less. When you're young, it doesn't make that much difference. To make mistakes when you're young, it's part of youth, it's part of growing up. And it doesn't matter because you've got the time to repair it. You've got the time to get yourself out of that and to move on to something else. When you get older, we don't. The time is more precious to us. And I've said this many times. And, One of the worst things, and I've said this many times as well before, is when you get old and you think, God, I could have been so much more. I could have done so many things differently to what I'd done. What a horrible situation to be in. Why not do the things that you want to do as soon as you can, instead of waiting, accumulating money, saving. You don't know how long you're going to be here. And I know it's a bit of a downy thing to talk about, but it's true, isn't it? You know, how many people are, when we get older, me included, how many friends I've lost, same age as me, maybe a year older than me or a year beneath me. The older we get, the more friends that we lose. And it makes you think of your own mortality, and it should make you think of the things that matter most to you. And it shouldn't be the accumulation of things. We all search for that perfect life. We're all searching for it. But in reality, you're never going to find something that's just perfect. You're never going to find it. Only a few people can do that. And it's normally the people who are very rich to begin with, or they're born with a silver spoon in their mouth, and they haven't had to slog their guts out to get to where they are. So rather than keep searching for that perfect life, which I said, none of us are really going to find that. We should be thinking for contentment instead of being perfect. Perfection doesn't mean success. It truly doesn't. I think what means success to me is to be content, to be living the life that I choose, not what someone else has chose for me, for my life. Now I'm living, and I will be honest with you people, I am living my perfect life. Not everything in it is perfect, and it never will be, but I'm contented with my life. Do what you want to do, not what people want you to do. If you keep doing things that people want you to do, you're never going to find who you really are. You're never going to find your true self. All the time you're listening to other people's opinions and advice, yes, some of it might be good advice and some of it might be worth taking on board. But at the end of the day, you can't take that on board as gospel. Because, as I said, when they say no, which many people said it to me, before I came to the Philippines, "Oh, Stephen, are you sure you're going to be, is this the right move for you?" And I'm not necessarily meaning moving to, to another country. I'm just saying this video as in all walks of life. You don't necessarily have to move, to a country to be experiencing the contentment, that I'm feeling. But to do something for you and to stop worrying about what other people are thinking all the time and to grow some balls and make your own life decisions, whether they be right or wrong. At least they were your decisions. They weren't based on anybody else's. So you got to stop doing what people are wanting you to do. When we grow older, opportunities become less, and they do, and time becomes more important. And my opinion and my experience of living here where I'm living is something I should have done before I did, but I couldn't because of commitments that I had in my country. So I couldn't do it. But many of you people, when you come to my age, you might not have commitments where, what's stopping you from doing something. And if you haven't got those commitments, then do it. Then do it. Do these things that will better you. And like I said, people, too many of us are chasing money. Too many of us are living our lives around money. Money, a commodity that, humans invented. Yes, we all need it and we always will need it. Without money, money doesn't buy you happiness. But it certainly can buy you misery. And that is true, people. It can buy you misery if you haven't got it. But just enough. You don't need to have all that money in the bank for a rainy day, because you don't know how long you're going to be on this earth for to be able to use that money. Keep a little bit back. Keep something back that you might, emergencies like hospital bills, yes, granted, you've got to do that if you're in a foreign country, especially where you've got no health insurance. But like I said, stop being the person that somebody else wants you to be. Be your own. Be your own individuality. Be your own person. And the sooner you can find out who you really are and what really makes you tick, it's like a burden will be lifted off of you. Because as soon as you find who you are, then you won't want to listen to anybody else's advice, because you know what you've already got. You know where you already are. And the advice that you're following is your own. Some of us take advice from people because we're too scared to make our own choices. We would rather have the reassurance of others. And that's all well and good. But if you are simply taking all the time their advice because you're scared to make that decision yourself without asking, then you're not living your life. You're the ghost of that person. You're living their life through yourself. And it's a very, very true thing, people. We've got to stop trying to impress others. That makes us feel good. How many of us do that? How many of us will try and impress somebody else because it makes us feel good? We're doing it for the wrong reasons. Instead of trying to impress somebody from what you've achieved, impress yourself. Impress yourself. Be happy with what you've achieved. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I don't care now about what other people think of me. I really don't. And since I started thinking like that, it's like a breath of fresh air. Because no longer do I have to think, if I do this, what's that? What are they going to think? Or like if I make this choice, or I move here or move there, what are people going to think of me? Look, it's your life. This is how I think now. It's my life, and I've thought like this for the last few years. It's my life. I've got no intention of keeping everybody happy. It's impossible to keep everybody happy all of the time. And why would I want to do that? Why would I want to work towards keeping someone happy when I'm sacrificing my own happiness? Because I'm so concerned about what other people will think. It's like me being here in the Philippines. Many people will probably think, stupid lad, why has he gone to the Philippines? You're entitled to think that, but I'm happy here. So no matter what you're thinking, it doesn't reflect on my feelings, because I'm happy here. I'm happy with all of the downsides of the Philippines. I'm happy with all of the great things of the Philippines. And this is not just about here, it's about anywhere, and it's about anything. It could be about a job, when you might be doing a job which you don't like to do, but you said, take that job, take it. And you think, oh God, yeah, I'll take it. I don't really want to, but I will take it. It'll earn me a little bit of money. When rather than thinking, no, I won't take that job, I'm going to wait for the job that I want to do and take a little part-time job just to see you through. This is what we do wrong. We're doing too many things that are making us unhappy in our life. People try and change people, when really the change that we should make should come from within ourselves. Not anybody else, but ourselves. I made a big, big, big move when I left England, a big move. And right or wrong, I made it strong. Right or wrong. But I did it against many people's advices. Don't go there. Why go to the Philippines? It's a developing country. It's a third world country. I didn't know too much about the Philippines. But if I'd have listened to them, I would have put doubts in my mind even before I got started. But I was adamant that this is my choice. This is my big mistake or my big success. And I don't mean success financially. I mean success in finding what I wanted to do and where I wanted to be and where I wanted to live out the remainder of my life. Because like I said, the candle burns shorter all the time. And if we are so consumed with other people's, do this, it's shite. It's shite. It's proper shite what people are telling you to do and what not to do. You are your own best decision maker. Only you know what's good for your choices. Nobody else. No one can live your life. You can't live someone else's life. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you will get rid of that burden that perhaps you're carrying on your shoulders, and you've been carrying it for a long time because you're too consumed in keeping everybody else happy. You're too concerned about that. If you don't want to be somewhere, or someone doesn't want you to be there, then you can make the change for that. I would never be somewhere where I didn't feel welcome. Doesn't matter if I loved it there. I couldn't. Even for my own benefits, I couldn't live somewhere in a house where someone didn't want me to be, whether it be with a wife, with a partner, or with friends. If I felt a bit of animosity, I wouldn't think, well, it's cheaper for me to stay here. I'll put up with it. I couldn't do it. And I would never have been able to do that because it's just the way that I am. But the point I'm getting at is many of us put up with things because it benefits us. It benefits us. Rather than putting up with things, do things for yourself, which does benefit you. And you aren't causing any animosity with the people around you. To find someone in your life who is compatible with you is very difficult these days, especially in the West, because most people in the West are consumed and so hell-bent on climbing that ladder of ambition. The place where you work, okay, you spend all of your life in that place. Let's just say that, and you're making that firm rich. That CEO doesn't give a toss about you. This is what you have to think. People spend all of their lives working in a place thinking that boss in a big place, in a big factory, big corporation, thinks a lot of you. They don't care a toss about you. As long as you are earning that firm money, you will continue to work there. You could spend your whole time doing overtime, working weekends, because they've asked you to, because there's an order that's come in that you've got to fulfill. You say, yes, I'll do that. And they'll give you a bit of extra money, which the tax man takes. And then when things go wrong in the company, you're gone. They won't say, oh, God almighty, I'm sorry, but I've got to let you go. The firm's hitting a bit of hard times. You got to go. And you think, well, yes, I've got to go. Where's the loyalty in that? The loyalty, and they probably won't even give you a golden handshake. They'll probably give you a little severance pay and a bit of redundancy money, and away you go. And you might have had opportunities in that time, in the time you've been working for that company, but you think, no, I'll stick with this company. I feel loyal to this company, not because it's a good paying job, but I feel loyal. Those don't feel loyalty to you. These executives, the CEOs, they don't care about you. That's what I'm saying, people. Don't do things for other people. Do things for yourselves. Find your own person, your own individuality, and stick with that. Make these wrong decisions. At least they're yours. At least you can hold your head up and say, well, that was my own decision. Instead of saying, I shouldn't have listened to that person. I shouldn't have listened to them. I knew I should have done this. I knew I should have done that. This is the problem with people. We take too much notice of what other people think. It's food for thought, people. It's food for thought. I'm living the best life now. I really am. As much as some viewers or some subscribers might think, well, I couldn't live there. That's because you are an individuality. You are your individual self. What's good for you is not good for me in some instances, and vice versa. That's what makes the world go around, is we're all different. If we were all the same, can you imagine what kind of life, what kind of world we would live in? It would be boring as hell because we could predict what everyone else would be doing. This is what makes us individuals. Some individuals are predictable, some aren't. I wouldn't class myself as predictable or unpredictable. But these days I would predict that I am searching and I've found my own individuality. I'm here and I don't care what anyone thinks about me being here. And I don't care what people think of moving to the Philippines. The reasons I went to the Philippines wasn't because of anything that they were saying to me. It was because I wanted to. It was my personal feeling that I wanted to. I made the change. I made that change. You can make a change. But you've got to make it for you, not because someone else wants you to make that change. And this is my video for today, people. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope maybe some of you can take something out of it. You know, a little snippets out of it where you think, yes, I know what he's talking about. Why have I been so concerned about what other people think of me? What other people would judge me? You judge yourself. No one is entitled to judge you. You do it yourself. As long as you're doing it for you. Like I said, success isn't necessarily having shitloads of money in the bank. Success is getting up in the morning and doing what you want to do, not what someone else wants you to do. Like I said, it could be anything. It could be walking in the woods. It could be going swimming. It could be doing anything. It could be going to a coffee shop and having a coffee if that's what you like to do. It could be anything as long as you want to do that. And as long as you do good by people, try and help people, not try and, start them off to a road to their demise and slag them off. Why? Why would we want to do that? I tell you why people do that. It's because they don't like to see people happy. Some people just don't like it. Some people are jealous of what they've achieved. Whether it be a small thing, like I have, it's only a small thing that I've achieved, moving to the Philippines and being happy, starting a family. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. But you'd be surprised how many people would be jealous of you doing that. Instead of thinking, well, that's good, I'm so happy for them. They were brave enough to do that. No, you're never going to find everyone will think like that. It's just the way people are. It's human nature how people like to see people take a dive, take a tumble. Like I said, sod them all. Sod them all. You do it for yourself and you don't do it for anybody else. Thank you, people. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And thank you, people, for all of your continued support and watching the channel. It does mean a lot, and it keeps me making these videos. And I really do appreciate it. The YouTube channel is not easy, but I enjoy doing it. So regardless of views, regardless of shitty comments that I sometimes get, which every YouTuber gets, I'm going to continue because I like doing it. And if it can help one person, then to me, it's been worth it. So that being said, people, you take good care wherever you are and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.